I ended up meeting a young lady. I had a child by her. What made me completely change my life around was having that child. So that was the big change that made me stop playing around in the streets. That made me want to get my life in order on all levels for real. That's really what made me want to change for real.
I'm glad. Hey Black, how you doing today, bro?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm good, man. How was your day?
It's good. Today I was relaxing for the most part. So just getting ready for this podcast interview with you today, man.
Oh,
I appreciate you all offering to bring me out here too, man.
Yeah, man. The pleasure's all mine. Thank you for calling me. I know you came when I was watching some really great soccer game.
Yeah, man. He was going a little crazy over the game.
The quarterfinals of the Champions League. I'm a Real Madrid fan, so I'm glad we made it through to the semifinals. So yeah, thank you very much for your patience. You know, some people are not going to have the patience to like just sit down and watch me finish the game. So I really appreciate that, brother.
Yeah, not a problem, man.
Yeah.
If it was American football, Cowboys, I would have had you hold on too.
Man, Cowboys, bro.
Yeah, I'm a Cowboys fan, man.
Why you a Cowboys fan, bro? They talk too much. And they never win championship since 19 something, right?
Listen, that's what we do, man. We got hope every single year.
Are you guys gonna win it this year?
Too early to talk. That's what I'll say. It's too early to talk. But
I mean, you don't believe in your team?
Yeah, of course I believe in our team. But we got Jerry Jones as the owner.
Yeah.
So he's not the best, but he just has a lot of money.
He got a swagger too, bro.
Yes, he does. And he makes me believe in him. He makes me believe in him. So, of course, we're gonna win it this year. We just gotta step up on our defense. We need a serious running game.
Yeah,
we don't have that right now, but hopefully, by the time the season starts, we make something happen.
Let's just assume you're not a Dallas Cowboys fan, and then I ask you, like, man, give me two favorites to win the Super Bowl this coming season. Which team are you gonna pick?
The Ravens, hands down. And I can't even call it. I actually like Miami though, but
the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I like them for some reason. Tua as the quarterback, and then you have
Tyreek.
Tyreek, man, he's a crazy fast. But Houston, the Texans, they're going to be a serious team to watch out for.
Oh yeah, especially with Stephon Diggs going over there.
Yes, they're going to be a serious team. I hope they don't win, but you know.
You're not talking about Kansas City, bro.
I don't care about Kansas City.
Why?
Man, Patrick Mahomes, he did his thing. He showed his worth. You know, he got his Super Bowls, multiple Super Bowls, MVPs, and all that. So he did his job. It's time for somebody else.
But you know, Joe Burrow is coming back.
I'm not worried about Joe Burrow. When he was there, he wasn't doing nothing. To me, not really.
Really?
Not enough. So, but then everything, you know, it comes back to me comparing these other teams to my Cowboys. they all outperformed the Cowboys.
Yeah,
so
man. You can't even outperform the San Francisco 49ers, bro.
Nah, they're a good team.
Yeah, they're a really good team.
They are.
I think they're going to learn from the mistakes from the Super Bowl last season and come back. Because that game was really close, bro.
It was.
Yeah.
It was, but I don't see them. Truthfully, I see if anybody come out of the AFC, it's going to be the Ravens. The Ravens are a serious team.
Episode Derrick Henry, bro. Derrick Henry, that's a monster.
That was the missing piece they needed, I think. And I think he's a huge dude.
Yeah, he's huge, bro. Like,
and he's a powerful runner. So
just imagine Jackson and Henry, bro.
Exactly.
That combination, bro. Who are you going to follow? Who's going to have the ball?
Exactly.
He's just like, and it's touchdown.
Exactly.
But we'll see. For me, I believe the Ravens, I'm going to fancy the Ravens for winning the Super Bowl. But, you know, like when it comes to Super Bowl or like the playoffs, before getting to the playoffs, the number one seed always get the advantage. Like that home advantage is massive.
Yes, it is.
So we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, we will.
But I believe the Ravens are going to take it off Kansas City this time around.
I think so too.
Not the same mistake, man.
Nah.
And then I'm going to fancy the Niners coming back to Super Bowl. Ravens, Niners.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I'm going to keep putting my Cowboys in there.
Cowboys, no.
I'm just going to keep putting them in there.
I'm going to fancy, rather than saying the Cowboys, I'm going to fancy Detroit over the Cowboys.
No.
Yeah.
That's your opinion. You know, I'm not going with that, though.
Yeah.
I can't see that.
Because, go ahead.
They had an excellent season, the Lions.
Yeah.
No denying that, but I don't think they're ready yet. I don't think they're ready yet.
Why did you say so?
I just don't believe him. I don't believe in them.
So you think it's just one season and that's it?
Yes.
Bro, they for real.
How many consistent teams, NFL teams, have you seen that just keep coming back year after year, aside from the Chiefs?
Not really.
Not many.
Yeah,
not many at all.
Not many.
So they had a good season. This was probably the best year for them to get it, and they fumbled it. So,
but I believe that with the coach, he's a really good coach. I think they're gonna do something. They're gonna make some noise.
Yeah, we're gonna see.
They're gonna make some noise in the NFC.
We're gonna see.
Yeah, let's see how that plays out.
This is Cowboy Nation over here, always.
But I still fancy the Ravens Niners Super Bowl.
Definitely the Ravens.
Yeah, the Ravens.
Definitely the Ravens.
And Cowboys.
I can see it. We got some work to do, but
so
I can see
you're gonna trust Dak Prescott in the playoffs now?
Absolutely. I've been trusting him. Our defense has been letting us down all these years. These past few years, it's been the defense.
That changed completely from last season to this season. He's a completely different quarterback. Yeah. The turnovers, he stopped them.
And he led the league in passing touchdowns. He's doing his job. He can't run the ball. He can't play defense.
Yeah, he had a really good game against which team did it knock them out? Which team knocked them out?
I forgot. Truthfully, I don't know.
Yeah, but he had a pretty good regular season. But the problem is like when it counts the most, he doesn't really step up. That's where you have like the difference between the Patrick Mahomes of this world, the Jacksons of this world, and Joe Burrows of this world. That's when the difference makers come into play.
Did he mess that game up? Did he lose that game, you think?
No, he didn't mess the game up. I'm just saying, like, when they need your quarterback to step up.
I agree. Did he not step up, though?
Not really.
Oh, man. I think we was watching two different games then. Because our defense let us down. Our defense let us get down. We got to get a lot better on defense. That's what it is. Dak is the quarterback for now. We have to. The draft is actually coming up this month.
Yes, few days from now.
Yeah. So hopefully we tighten up on defense, and we'll see how the season plays out.
Yeah. I mean, most respect to the Cowboys because I know some of the Cowboys fans are going to keep. Yeah, I respect the Cowboys, but I just think they talk too much. Every season they think they're going to win the championship, but they don't make it past the divisional round.
And that's how we're going to keep it, man.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. But you guys tried last season. I didn't even fancy you guys to make it the playoffs. So you guys did a good job.
Well, thank you.
We'll see how it goes to this season.
Yeah.
So how was it like growing up in New York, buddy?
Growing up in New York, I love it. I love New York. Growing up, though, I was born in Queens, moved to upstate New York. My mother, sisters, brother. It was fun, actually. We grew up in the church. My mother had us in church probably like 4 times a week. We were in the choir, singing. My mother was the choir director for us, so we had to do that. Growing up, though, I hated school. I didn't like elementary school, middle school, or high school. The only thing that really got me through school was sports. Truthfully, I love playing sports, specifically football and track.
Yeah.
But growing up, I wasn't too bad of a kid, but I was hard-headed at times when I didn't want to listen. You know, here comes the beatings. Here comes the threats. Let me see. I started getting in trouble, not real trouble. I never got locked up, thank God. I started selling like weed, you know, in like middle school.
Middle school?
Yeah, I started selling weed because at that age, I'm sitting there, I'm trying to fit in, truthfully. So I was trying to fit in. There's older people that would come around, not much like, they'd be like 2-3 grades older than me. They'd come around, and then that's when I first started, like, I smoke a blunt or something. And then one day, dude was like, yo, hold this for me real quick. I'm holding, I'm nervous. I'm trying to make a good impression and all that.
Yeah.
And the other, like, my friends or associates, they wanted to smoke, so they would buy a little $10 bag of weed, $5 bag. Back then, it was $5. We had nicks and dimes of weed. So one day, I just sold it all in one day.
Whoa.
And dude he was, you know, a little proud of me. I was happy for myself, thinking I really accomplished something. I didn't do nothing, but and so from that point on, I started selling a little bit of weed. Then I went into high school, whatever. I chilled out because I was still like kind of new kid. But I chilled out, but I still met people there in high school. Yeah, and that's when I really wanted to explore. But I knew I had to keep my nose clean because I was playing sports still playing football and track. But I still wanted to be bad, so I'm skipping school almost every day. Wow. I graduated. Luckily, I graduated from high school. I had to do an extra 6 months in school though. Whoa. Because I didn't take school serious whatsoever. When I tell you I used to skip, just to skip. I used to skip class just to skip class. I have failed one time. And they had made me do a 0 period. 0 period is like a 6 o'clock in the morning class. I had to get up. I would get up just so my mother, she'll see me leave the house. I go to school and just chill and not even go to the class. End up failing that. But growing up in New York, good and bad. What else?
So when you were growing up in that environment, right? And you're already transacting with the middle school. What were you thinking? You want to become an athlete? Do you want to become a football player or running track?
I always wanted to be a football player. Always. I like the physical part of. I like hitting somebody. Like I got a lot of aggression in me. Yeah. I like putting my hands on somebody, and that was a good way of taking it out on someone. Truthfully. And then my stepbrother, he played football too. He was like a star football player. So I kind of tried to follow in his footsteps, but he was top tier for real. Yeah, I wasn't on his level, but I tried to make an impact in my own little way. I was quick and I was fast. What position? So I was 150 pounds in high school. All right, and I was a starting defensive tackle. Ooh, so. And I was actually good at it though. Wow! And that was because I was quick and I was fast, so I was able to get to that quarterback. Easier. So yeah, I always wanted, and I just love track. I love track because I knew I was always fast, and it came easy to me. Yeah. Honestly, I didn't really take it serious. I enjoyed it, but I didn't take it serious. I wasn't trying to go nowhere with that. I think I could have went somewhere with football if I took school serious. But even then, I was kicked out of high school twice. I got kicked out of high school twice. Why? Being bad. Being with my friends and associates, man, we would go in like the teachers' lounge and we would rob the teachers. Whoa! Like, why they wasn't in there? We'd going in their purses. We taking whatever it was. I'm not gonna put my man's name out there, but we'd go out. The lockers, like if you don't close your locker all the way, you could pop the locker. And obviously, whatever they got in their locker, and we wanted, we was taking. So,
how old were you at this point?
How old was I? I was 15 and 16. Whoa. Yeah. 15, 16 years old doing stuff like that. But luckily, I got a loving mother. She fought. She got the NAACP to represent me to get me back in school. And even still, like I said, it took me an extra 6 months to graduate for high school, which I did. But thankful for that. I had to go to summer school every year. So
Yeah, going through like all those your experiences, right? And you're doing all the stuff. At one point, did you say, "Oh man, and I'm doing way too much. I just want to stop this stuff and get a better life for myself"? Or were you just like, "Oh man, I'm just living. I'm just a kid. I'm just having fun, going for parties with my friends, my dudes. We're just having some good time." What was your thinking that time?
Well, I was partying every weekend.
Yeah.
Fighting every weekend, literally.
Whoa.
So I got to the point. It was to the point where I was like, all right. I see my sisters. My sisters went away to school. I used to go and visit them like every week, every other week, and I'd go visit them at school. I see the scenery, I had the vibes out there, and they was like, yo, just kind of get your stuff together and come out here. They got a little community college out here you could come to. And long story short, that's what I did for real. I ended up going out there to that school, to the junior college out there. And even still, that wasn't for me. Schooling was not for me at that time. So what I did, I ended up meeting a young lady, and I had a child by her.
Yeah.
What made me completely change my life around was having that child. So that was the little that was the big change that made me stop playing around in the streets. That made me want to get my life in order on all levels for real.
Yeah.
And that's really what made me want to change for real.
I'm glad you said your daughter made you stop. But I have a question for you. Before I come back to that question, I want to say this: like when you see our community, our black community as a whole, you're going to realize that the dads are not home, and you don't see the sense of urgency to be responsible and take care of the kids that you brought to this world, and that's a problem. And most of the times it's just like, oh no, it was not planned. I didn't really take some time to strategize on like, oh, I need kids now. It just happened. I mean, even if it happens, what are you doing to take responsibility? And we as black folks, we got to step up our game and realize that we have to build a community, a strong community. If the fathers are not home, those kids want to become adult before time. And when they go to school, they want to start selling drugs. They want to start doing things that adults do, smoking and stuff. And then after a while, you're like, why is that kid so messed up? But you don't even think about like the family where they're from, the family upbringing. You don't think about the dad. I'm not saying kids should go do crazy stuff, but we as men, we got to have that responsibility to think about not just ourselves, but every kid we bring into this world. We know that we have a sense of responsibility. We have to mold this child to become a better person tomorrow. That's how our future is secured, and that's how we know that we're building a strong legacy. Because without a legacy, like if you look at the community now, where are we heading to? Like you just like, nah, bro, the future ain't bright. And you saying that, it makes me happy because I know, one person thinks about the responsibility. Now I'm bringing another person into this world. I think I got to step up my game to be a responsible person. I've been having fun. I've been going to club parties, weed, selling stuff. And now I want to turn my life around just to make this beautiful human being have a sense of understanding and know that, someone really cares or value her. That's really important. And that's how we got to start thinking. Like, how can we make our kids understand some principles, precepts, truths of life and grow in the right way? You might not be perfect, but try as much as possible to instill in that child some valuable insight, principles, and concepts that are going to let that child grow in the right way. And with time, you're going to realize that your fruits are coming to life. But if you just let a child go astray, it's going to be hard for that child to grow up. You'll be like, I blame my mom, I blame my dad, I blame my dad. I didn't have a good upbringing and stuff like that. But at some point, if you were a kid back then and you're an adult now, at some point you got to man up and start learning from the mistakes your dad did. Don't only blame him, but also think about what were some of the challenges he faced, and how can you overcome those mistakes and become a better person. Don't go through the same thing. Don't go do the same thing because you feel like you're a victim. But instead, you got to think from a victorious mentality. How can I overcome this? How if no one in my family has ever overcome this challenge, how can I be the first? That's how we got to start tackling, and it's going to be better. So now I want to come back to you. You said your daughter made you stop. So what initially sparked that decision? Like, hey, I want to stop now. You said it's your daughter. What moment led to that decision? Because you can't just say, oh, my girlfriend is pregnant now. I just got to stop doing this stuff. Something. There was a background story. I want to know, bro.
Okay, it is a background story. So, like I said, I was just partying, running the streets and all that, right?
Yeah.
So, I was in a relationship.
Yeah.
Cheated on my girl. That's what I did. I cheated on my girl that I was with. And I had just moved to Maryland.
Yeah.
Literally, just moved to Maryland. And I get a phone call from my daughter's mother. And she was like, hey, I'm pregnant. First, I was crushed. I was hurt because I had just moved to Maryland, and I was still technically with my girl at the time because I didn't tell her yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just like, it is what it is now at this point. Me and my daughter's mother, we ain't always get along.
Mm-hmm.
She had her situation, I had my situation, but and she actually, the crazy thing is, she actually told me, you don't have to be in your child's life or whatever. I'll take care of it by myself. I was like, nah, that ain't the type of man I'm gonna be. That ain't the type of man I am. So I had to stand up, 10 toes down with the situation, admit my wrongdoings, and just do what I had to do.
Wait, sorry to cut you short. Just so I'm understanding. So you had a girlfriend, you cheated on your girlfriend, and had a baby with a baby mama outside a relationship.
Yeah.
And the baby mama is saying,
And let's show a little respect to her because I don't like baby mother.
Yeah.
She's my daughter's mother.
Oh, your daughter's mother.
Yes.
Your daughter's mother.
Yeah.
So your daughter's mother says, "Oh no, you don't need to be in your child life. I'm gonna take care of everything." You're like, "No, I gotta be in my child's life now."
Correct.
Did you admit to your girlfriend at the time that you did something wrong, and how can we move past that?
Yeah. I attempted.
And how did that conversation go?
It wasn't good at all.
Whoa.
She was the calm one. My girl at the time, she was the calm person.
Yeah.
She took it. I'm sure she was hurt or whatever, felt some type of way.
Yeah.
About the situation, as she should.
Mm-hmm.
And if she would have hated me, I would have understood.
Yeah.
But she was the calm one. Her mother
Oh.
is the one who went crazy on me,
Yeah.
truthfully.
Uh-huh.
And I still love them to this day. Her mother was the one who went crazy on me, though. And threatened to do this and that to me.
Yeah.
Thankfully, nothing happened. And but that's how that played out.
And you guys just stayed together?
Who, me and the ex?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. She wasn't with that. She wasn't going for nothing like that. She was a very strong-minded individual.
Yeah.
And she couldn't see herself in that type of situation. And honestly, I couldn't expect her to stay in that type of situation. Truthfully, it was my fault. Everything was my fault.
So would you say it was a mistake or you just wanted to have fun?
It was factors as to why I stepped out and did what I did. Getting someone pregnant, that was not intentional. That part was not intentional.
Yeah.
To
have fun?
To have fun,
yeah.
That was intentional. I can't deny that one.
Yeah.
But I can't complain about it now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Man, I mean that's life. Sometimes I'm not perfect. I got my own flaws too. I've done a lot of stuff that when I wake up, sometimes I'm like, oh my God, did I just do that or did I just say that? Like, and nobody's perfect. So someone might be watching like, oh, this guy going through that. Like, come on. you know that you've been through your own stuff that you don't want to say behind cameras. And we here talking about us, you just like, that person, that. Never judge anybody.
Correct.
Because no one is perfect. We got our own stories, bro. And it's just, it might be different, but at the same time, what you learn from that, that's what really matters. So what are some of the things that you learned from that? By the way, before you answer the things you learned from that experience, I want to ask you, like, when you went through that experience, did you feel like, like you're guilty of something, or man, I made a big mistake, and like, how was that feeling like? Or just like, I had fun, school the consequences?
Nah, at that time, I knew I messed up. I knew I messed up. I couldn't get past that. Truthfully, that shit hurt me.
Yeah.
That hurt me bad. I was in love with my girl at the time.
Yeah.
I was in love with her. So by me having to call her and tell her I got another female pregnant, that crushed me. I think I shed a tear too, honestly. I think I shed a tear too, because I knew it was over at that point. So it was a I can't even say it wasn't a mistake, because I did it. I know knowingly what I did. So it wasn't a mistake. I did what I did, and that was that. What I learned from that situation.
Yeah, what did you learn?
What did I learn from it? Just to be honest, if you're tired of a situation, you just get out of it. Get out of that situation, because something may be good for you in the beginning, but in the long run, it may not be good for you. And I understand as a man, you got to also make yourself happy in life, because I know as men in this world, they lean on us for financial stability and all that. If someone is not bringing something to you other than finances, you don't have to stay in that situation. And that's what I learned. I'm not going to deal with you. I'm not going to stay with you if you can't give me what I'm asking. And I don't require much as a man, truthfully, because anything I ask you to do, I'm going to do it myself. I could do it myself. So I don't really require much of anything, but just keep the basics. Whatever the basics is that I'm asking, just do your best to try to provide that.
So what is your ideal scenario in a relationship? What are some of the things that you look for in a woman?
What I look for, I want first I like to eat. So I want to please be able to cook.
Homemade food.
Yeah, it's homemade.
That's my African brother right there.
Be able to cook. And I'm not asking you to cook 7 days a week. I don't need that.
Yeah.
Be able to dress.
Yeah.
Be able to clean up, keep it just neat. I ain't asking sparkling white floors. I'm not asking for that, but the simple things. Take me out how I could take you out. Things like that. It's like I said, it's not. I don't require much. And match my hustle. Whatever I do, match my hustle or exceed it. Encourage me, build me up as a man. Reassure me, just like the females need that too. Men need that same thing, and I need that.
Yeah, I know there are going to be some haters now watching or listening to this podcast. I want to just like look for some of the weaknesses, or this guy, he's misogynist. How can he say, she got to cook? He got to cook too. I'm going to say this is like everybody has their opinion, and everyone has their own preference. Like your preference might not be my preference. And the fact that we don't have the same preferences does not mean, you're wrong, or it does not make you wrong and make me right. Everybody, like when it comes to love and relationship, you look for what you're looking for. I got what I'm looking for. Correct. And at the end of the day, if you find what you want, good for you. If I find what I want, good for me. There's no point of like arguing and saying this person is bad, I'm good. Like, no, that's not the whole point of relationship. Like at the end of the day, how do you know he's right? And how do you know I'm wrong?
Correct.
And that's the question we got to ask.
When you go into a relationship or any type of situation, you should make your expectations clear from the jump. If a person, they say, okay, I can do that, or I'm not going to do that. Yeah, that's cool. That's all on you or them to accept that or deny that. Yeah. So it's not really everyone, like you said, everyone has their own opinions on it. Yeah. And whatever they're going to deal with in their own personal life. Yeah. Ain't no reason to hate on it, though.
Yeah, I'm glad you said you just lay out your stuff from the get-go. Because when you lay your stuff from the get-go and the person is getting into that stuff, they know, like, this is what I'm getting myself into. You already know from the get-go. Instead of, like, saying something else, and then later on they find out, like, I'm I'm signing up for something
It's
different.
not-
They're
it's
like,
not what you
that's
expected."
not what I want. So it start causing some friction and problems left and right. So it's better to be clear, like, hey, I'm a traditional man. I want some homemade food. At least I need you to like dress up, be clean the house, do some home choices. I mean, I can do it sometimes, but I just want you to know how to do it too. And I believe in equality, 50-50. Sometimes I can take you on a date, you take me on a date.
Correct.
That's life.
Yeah.
So if you have your opinion, someone don't have to sit down like, oh no, this guy is wrong. That's not how it's supposed to be. He got to take care of his lady. He got to cook. And like, man.
And don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
And well, I'm gonna put this out there.
Yeah.
I do not cook.
Yeah.
I don't cook.
Uh-huh.
But it's not that I'm asking a lady to. You have to do any of this. This is just what I like.
Yeah.
This is what I
Your
would like you
preference.
to do.
Yeah. Even me too.
Yeah.
Like, number one, I'm an African dude. I'm from Cameroon, for those watching for the first time. And one of, like, the top of my list, most Africans, I would say, like, especially in my country, I'm a tribe. Can she cook? If she can't cook, next. In, like, back home, a lady from 10 years old, they're only teaching you how you start cooking. You start learning how to cook, like, all the traditional meals and stuff like that. So because in African culture, they're preparing you for marriage, like how to not only like cooking, but how do you respect your husband? How do you respect the man and stuff, like the merging you up for stuff like that, knowing that, despite society saying you're equal, but there's a difference. You got to respect the man. Not that the man is higher than the lady, but when it comes to responsibility, the man got to like show up and take the leadership role. That's how our culture is. I don't know about your culture, but that's our own is. So like top of the list, can she cook? If she can't cook, we just skip to the next one. Like it's not non-negotiable. Like I'm so glad at least my girlfriend can cook, by the way. So I'm good. Yeah, man. So it's good to have your preference, and having a preference means you know what you want, and that's a good thing. But if you don't know what you want, you're just gonna get anything. And at the end of the day, you're just like, is this really what I wanted? I just settled with anything because I didn't have no values. At the end of the day, don't criticize someone's preference. Make your own.
Right.
Yeah, that's life.
That is.
Yeah, man. So now looking back at that experience, right? What are some of the things that you were like, I made those mistakes. Now I'm moving into this relationship. I don't want to do the same thing I did that time. I want to become a better person. So when you look back, what are some of the reflective memories that you're just like, no, I'm messed up on that area. In this area, I want to adjust and become a better person.
I would say I used to be very headstrong. I still am, but I've knocked it down some. It was always my way or the highway. That's how I used to carry it.
Whoa.
Yeah, I used to. A lot of females, they went for that.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them didn't. So I had no problem just disregarding you and moving on.
Wow.
But now in life, I understand I'm not going to provide everything. You can't provide everything to me.
Yeah.
So it's we're going to meet in the middle on whatever we doing. Right? So as far as what I've learned is that you have to make others happy as well. You can't be self-centered.
Yeah.
And everything. You can be self-centered with some things, but not everything. When it comes to a relationship, a child, you cannot be self-centered at all.
Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. Sometimes people want to be self-centered and they want to only think about themselves. They don't really think about the kid. They don't really think about the girlfriend and stuff like that. And you just like, at the end of the day, you realize you're moving forward, but no one is moving with you. And that's not real life. So you got to think about the other person. How would this person feel if I do this stuff? Like, you got to bring their own feelings into consideration before making the decision. And that's where communication comes into play. And that's a really major factor when it comes to relationship. How do you communicate effectively? And guys don't really know how to communicate with ladies. They can say all the sweet talk like, hey, baby, you're beautiful, blah, blah. When it's time for action, they know how to convince you. But when it comes to the real talk, they're quiet.
I agree.
They're going to watch football, watch baseball, watch basketball. They don't want to talk. They're just on the TV. Why are guys watching TV? They don't want to talk. And when the lady comes, you're like, what am I going to say now? And when the lady bring a problem, you just find a solution. Damn, because you don't want that problem to lead to another conversation. You're just like, how can we just solve it now? And we have to learn how to communicate effectively.
I agree with you. And I'm going to be the first one to admit I am bad at communicating. I would rather deal with my problems myself or just shut down because I feel like the females I've dealt with or in my past, whatever, I feel like a lot of them cannot relate to what I've been through or go through. And I tend to make things a little easier in my life. A lot of things aren't that serious to me in life. Something can be a extreme emergency for someone else.
Yeah.
But the way I view the situation, hey, it'll be all right. Like you're crying and you're doing all this extra stuff. You don't got to do all that. Do this and the problem is solved. But people tend to overthink things, so I have to learn to kind of show sympathy and all that to another person.
So what I can, just from what you just said now, I can maybe say that you're not really that emotional.
My emotions is probably between 0 and 10%. My emotions are very low.
Yeah.
Because I don't get how people respond to certain things that I personally can just get over with no problem. And that kind of, I know that may be wrong, especially with dealing with a female.
Yeah.
But what I will say, having a daughter, you better learn to be emotional because, especially as they're getting older, the emotions are coming out. The smart ass mouth that they're saying, she's saying, I'm not for that, but I have to understand.
Yeah.
She's her body is growing, her mental, all that. So I try my best sometimes to show emotions.
Yeah.
But most of the time, just a regular person, you probably won't get that from me.
Yeah. First of all, I just want to say, welcome to the real world. And another thing is, you got to understand, ladies are wired that way.
They are.
Yeah, they're wired that way. They're going to be emotional all the time. We guys, we're logical.
Yeah.
We just calculate, how can I solve this thing? And just get it out of my way and move to the next. But when a lady brings a problem to you, I'm going to give you a tip. When a lady brings a problem to you, she don't want you to solve that problem. She wants you guys to talk. But we as guys, we just want to solve it and move on.
Correct.
Because we don't have the time to, where are we going to start from? How are we going to make the conversation interesting? Am I saying something right? Am I going to say something wrong? And you all these thoughts are going through your mind. You're just like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? But at the end of the day, you just got to let it go. And that's why it boils down to the lady you're dating. You have to know who you're dating and know if you can express yourself to your lady. Because if you cannot express yourself to your lady, I believe there's going to be a friction already.
Correct.
Because if you know that, this is my person and the person is there for me, the person can understand when I'm down, when I'm up. And I can really talk about some of the things that I believe are some of my weaknesses, my flaws, that together we can work towards overcoming. If someone is legit, the lady you're dating, that's a legit somebody that wants to build something with you, they're going to understand and try to guide you towards that path. But if the person is not even trying to do that investment towards making this guy understand that my own point of view, my perspective, because it takes time. Not everyone is emotional, but there have to be some time invested towards attaining that and making sure hey babe, I want you to see from this perspective. What are some of the things that you don't really understand about me? How can I make you understand better? Do you not understand it from this angle, or you want to know it from this angle? Some little questions, and just like that, you start and you go. And sometimes, I said on one of my previous episodes, I'm like, one of the major questions that every guy or every lady should be asking when it comes to a relationship is this relationship moving towards a direction you envision it to move towards? But people are scared to ask that question because they're scared of the answer.
Yeah, I think that answer you get, it won't be what they expect.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're scared of the answer, but that's a good thing. If it's not what you expect, what are your expectations? How can we move towards attaining those stuff? we can meet in the common, we can meet in the middle ground. Like, oh yeah, this is what I expect, this is what you expect. So how can we like work towards building this thing together and towards making sure that we grow, not just I'm growing, you're not growing. That's bad. Because sometimes when it comes to relationship, people think they're in a competition, they're fighting. Like, I'm gonna be on top, you're gonna be down. But it's gotta be a partnership. It's a partnership. And when you look at it from that perspective, it's different than like, oh, no, I want to be right and she got to be wrong. I want to be right. He got to be wrong today. So I'm the boss and stuff like that. And you know, we guys, we have this boss mentality, man. Well, I'm the man of the house.
Yeah.
Whatever I say stands. And sometimes it leads us down, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I was in a relationship where the female actually, she made more money than me, and we lived together, and she tried to belittle me as a man, but I just couldn't accept that.
Yeah.
So I had to get up, and I had to get up out of there, and that, I think that was the best move for me, because it is strong-headed people, male and female, who think well, this person is wrong, I'm doing this right, this is how it's gonna go, whatever it may be. That's not, as a person, you have to decide, hey, is this good for you by being disrespected or accepting less than you know you are? I just can't accept that personally. So, and in my situation, I got up and I got out of there.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. You know, sometimes when ladies are making more than guys, the guys are like, how do I become a man? They don't know what it is to become a man anymore. You know, back in the days, being a man was automatic. Like the manhood or womanhood was defined by the roles they play. So back in those days, before the Second World War, a man was the breadwinner of the family. He was the one who goes to the factory, to the mines, and work his tail off just to provide for his family. The woman was a nourisher. She was at home taking care of the family. So when he works all the money, like put his life in danger for the family and makes some money, he comes, he give it to the woman. The woman takes care of them, cook food, make the house a home. When he buys the house, the lady makes it a home. But now it's different. We've gone past, after this, during the Second World War, the guys are in the battlefield fighting one another. And the ladies that were home had to go to the factories to start producing bullets or war machineries for those guys fighting the battlefield. So they're in the factories producing those weapons or those war machineries, and those guys are using those war machineries to fight the war. And then when the war is over, those dudes come back home. There's nobody home. Right. The ladies are now working and making more money than them. They're like, I left home, but I can't find home no more. Right. They're working out. How do I become a man? So since then, that's when it started. So we've been trying to define manhood several ways. Like, what is like today? If you ask yourself, like, what is a man? You're gonna be like, you will try as much as possible. You cannot really define manhood, because you don't know. You want to say, oh, the man is a provider. Today, ladies they make more money than guys. You want to say another thing, the ladies go. So you're just like, how do I become a man? If you want to date, you don't have, let's just assume you're making 30 grand a year. And you dating a lady that makes $1 million a year. She got everything. What do you want to do?
There's nothing you can really do for a lady in that. She got to be madly in love with you first off.
Yeah, you'd be like, how do I be a man in that scenario? Yeah. You're just confused. You're just like, man, I can't be a man. I don't know what it is to be a man. And the lady will be like, I don't need your money. I got tons of money. I got cars. I got houses. I just want you to be a man. How do I be that? Because you don't know.
And then the next question comes out, how long is she going to accept me making $30,000 a year? Yeah. I'm sitting here, I'm going to Foot Locker, making this money while she's running a Fortune 500 company or something like that. But if she really about you, then she'll put you in position though to get on her level or close to her level. Yeah. If she really loves you and she really is there just for you. Yeah. And she'll put you on, hopefully, or show you whatever she needs to show you to put you in a better position though.
Yeah, that's why I always say, like, we as guys, I always emphasize on communication. If you don't know how to communicate, learn. If you don't know, if you don't want to learn, ask questions. That's how you're gonna like overcome that hunch or the challenge. If you just sit down and think, oh, it's normal, I can't communicate, I'm not emotional, I don't really understand this stuff, I'm just gonna let it be. That stuff is gonna keep haunting you all the time. Yeah. And you're gonna go to multiple relationships. You're seeing almost the same things happening. You're just like, I might curse or what? But you gotta take that step. You have to take the step. And that's life. But people don't want to take it, man.
Yeah, you gotta hold yourself accountable though.
Yeah.
Accountability is real.
Yeah.
And if not, like you said, it's the same thing over and over and over.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can hold yourself accountable and grow from within,
yeah,
you'll eventually get it.
Yeah.
And it is not going to be all at one time. You're going to learn it throughout years.
Yeah, and that's true.
So you may learn one thing this year that'll help you for your next relationship the next year.
Mm-hmm.
So everything is different.
Yep.
All right. That like communication though. That communication is it's important.
Yep. Sometimes when you start, you meet a lady, you really like this lady, you just like, oh man, I can die for this lady. She's everything I've ever dreamed of. She got all the qualities, all the futures. She looks fine, in, out, everything. And you're just like, I'm gonna take this thing to the next level. What can I do to just take this thing to the next level? And then after a while, you realize like, oh, there's some things that you really wanted, but they are not really in, because when you're seeing from that point, she might be beautiful outside. You're just like, oh yeah, she got everything I ever need, and and you don't really like do some self-reflection, like, is this what I really want to go for? And you don't check the content of a character. You just hooked up by love. Love does not make a relationship work.
No, it does not.
Nah, it does not. And some people think, oh, you're just saying that because you just want to talk. I'm telling you, love does not make a relationship work. There are a lot of things, just 3 things that make a relationship work. And that is knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. Without those 3 things, game over. You can start it and think, oh, it's sweet now. You're going to have that honeymoon phase. But once it's fade away and you don't have the knowledge, the understanding, and the wisdom to continue that relationship, it's over. It might be over today, but you don't really understand. It might take 3 more months for you to really see that it was over 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you just have to up your game every day. Learn how can you improve yourself every day to become better, not just for yourself, but for this person you are with now. And you got to think about, are we growing together? What is the end goal? Are we just here to have fun? Or we're just here to make babies? Or here to actually get married? People are afraid to take responsibility these days. So they're just like, married ain't an option. I just want to have fun and party all life.
Also with that, people in relationships tend to overlook those red flags or any type of flag.
Yeah.
As long as they're enjoying themselves or they're getting whatever they need.
Yeah.
Whatever their need may be. They tend to overlook those flags and that's when it gets a little too, too far gone, I'll say.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes.
And sometimes you said that, and that's accurate. And when you're always looking for the red flags, you're always going to find one.
That's true.
And when you keep finding it, you're just like, this is one error for me. You have to, there's no flawless human being. No. We all got flaws. Mm-hmm. And you got to see from that perspective. Is this person actually someone who is a learner, a student of life? That's one thing. Because if the person is not a student of life, you just know, like, it's not going anywhere. But if this person is actually a student of life and know there's a possibility for a better future, and how can we work together now as a team to build something together? Not just thinking about yourself or, you're not perfect in this place, and that means you're not the person. I got to move to the next one. But now I'm looking at it from, he's a student of life. She's a student of life. Like, how can we work towards like, your flaws, my flaws. How can we try to become better people so we can build not just ourselves, but build a family, if that's what you're thinking. And when you see from that perspective, it makes you different. Not like every other person would just want to have fun, party, or this person have a lot of red flag. Nah, this ain't it. Next person. Yeah, those relationship is a real thing. Yeah. But you have to spend some time to invest and learn because it's all about that knowledge, bro. I'm not an expert. I'm just letting
It
everything.
sounds like you're an expert though. Like, wait, you could be a relationship counselor or something, man.
No, I'm not an expert, man. I learn every day about this topic because I'm interested. I want to know. I want to learn to really understand. And trust me, mind you, when you know some stuff about relationship and you're in a relationship and you applying some of this stuff, you realize like it's not really that hard the way people make it seem.
Right.
But you just got to know the basics and you got to put yourself like being a student of life. Once you're a student of life, you're going to realize that there are some things that people overlook that you can actually do. And ladies don't need much, bro. They just need that effort.
I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that.
They need the effort. I don't know the kind of ladies you date, by the way, but I'm just saying, like, most ladies, they want to see the effort. You know, some guys think ladies want money or they just want this flashy stuff. Most of the times, ladies just want to know that you're thinking about them. And how do you show that affection? The affection. You know, anything a lady sees, she wants it. And like most ladies, shopping malls were made for ladies, not for guys, by the way. Shopping malls were made for ladies. Like if you go to the mall, like if you any clothing store, any store, like a shopping center, you're gonna realize the guy's clothing line is always at the door. You look at it, you come in, you get it, and you go out. But the ladies on the first floor, the second floor, the third floor, everywhere, because the mostly ladies, those are the people who do the shopping. And the guys fashion two times a year. Summer and spring collection, that's one. And then winter and fall collection, that's one. But lady got four. Yeah. So it's different, man. So that's what I'm saying. Like lady, but at the end of the day, you gotta really understand. Like ladies want to know that you're thinking about. Let's just say, for example, right? You have a girlfriend right now, right?
Yeah.
So she's home. Is she home? Okay. You're driving home. I want you to do this, and then tell me the result. When you're driving home, just like you see trees around or any flower or anything, don't buy. Do not buy. Just cut a tree or anything and say, hey, baby, I was thinking about you on my way home. Yeah. And then tell me how her reaction and what she does with that stuff. Tell me that. Just do it. They want to know that you're thinking about them. She's going to blush the first and say, because she never expected you to do that.
That's true.
She don't expect you to do that. So when she knows you're thinking about her, she knows, oh, he values me. I'm valuable. But we think, oh, ladies they just want this, da, 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 da. But we don't know the essence or some of the minor things we can do that are really valuable. But on the look, it's just like, no, that's not what she wants. Try it and then let me know. You gonna do it?
I got you. I'll let you know. Let you know how that play out.
Yeah, I'll be waiting, man. I really want to know, and I'm gonna let the audience know in the next episode how that played out too as well.
All right, I got you,
man. So let's move on. Before I move on to what I want to move next. Is there anything you want to add in relationship?
Nah, just be happy though.
Yeah,
be happy with yourself and be happy with your partner if you have one or whatever you're looking for. Just make sure it's what you want.
Yeah, and make sure your expectations are clear from the get-go.
Yes, absolutely.
So the person knows what he or she is getting herself or himself into. I want to know that. Oh, when things happen, they're just like, oh, I expected that he already told me, and how can we make this better? And the relationship is going to move forward. But always remember, understanding, knowledge, and wisdom are the way to go. Love does not make a relationship work. And if you're still living in that nightmare, I'm sorry for you. We're going to wake up one day.
Right.
Yeah, and thank you for listening. And please just make sure you're sharing the episode. And if you're watching on YouTube, just like this episode because it's a great one. Thank you for supporting the show. Moving on to you, my brother. And now you're doing like your entrepreneurship venture. What made you like start the entrepreneurship venture? Because I know you already had, like, looking at your past, you already had that experience of selling like weed on the side. You already had that business DNA, you know? But now you say, oh, you want to do something positive. You have your own clothing line and you're producing your own like hoodies and t-shirts. Like how did that come about?
So I always had a thing for fashion.
Yep.
Growing up, we wasn't the richest family.
Yeah.
We didn't have the most money. I ain't gonna say we was poor, but we didn't have much. And I know, like, I always had a friend. he always had like the latest Jordans. He had the jerseys,
Yep.
all that. Like I looked up to that. Like I always wanted that type, and I know we couldn't afford that, so I didn't even ask. But growing up, I was like, I always had a thing for fashion, and so when I got in a position to where I was able to kind of like get involved a little bit with it, that's what I did. I started off with making little T-shirts or whatever. I came up with my name, Truthful Dream.
Yeah.
And I just started making T-shirts. That's how I started with this. And I ain't worldwide and nothing yet with it, but that's the end goal. But that's why I started, because we didn't have much as kids growing up or whatever. And this is my name that I'm putting out there. So that's why I started it.
Yeah. So first of all, I'm glad you started something that, I mean, you're not just going to do it for yourself, but for your community as a whole. We need people who are thinking to be producers, to be entrepreneurs. That's what the community needs right now. So thank you very much for starting that. And now that you've started this business venture, where do you see it though? Where do you see in the next, let's just say 5 years? Because I believe any business person have a long-term vision or long-term goal for their prospective business.
Yeah. So truthfully, I think about that. I ask myself that question often. I try to do like 5 years to 15 years.
Yeah.
I don't want to be just a brand that sells, like, that's locally known. If anything, if I'm gonna go just a local street name brand, I want to be in like a H&M type of store. Sell my merchandise in the H&M type of store or something like that. And when I go past that level, I just want my brand to be worldwide. Truthfully, I want my name to stand out. I'm not trying to match up with no Louis Vuitton, all them Gucci. I'm not trying to do all that. I want Truthful Dream to be a household name worldwide. And my product is cheaper. So, but that's where I see myself. I want to be on that level where, okay, we could walk into a H&M type of store and you can see my brand in there.
Yeah.
In 10 years, I would like to, okay, everybody knows about me now.
So that makes me want to ask you this question. So would you say you have a brand or you have a logo?
I have a brand. I think I have a brand. A logo is something you just see, I don't know, Patron.
Yeah, why do you say you have a brand?
Why do I have a brand?
Yeah.
Because a brand is more of everyone knows you. They know what you stand for.
Yeah, so that brings me to the question. What do you stand for?
Okay.
I like you brought that up.
Okay. Truthful Dream, what it stands for, everyone has a dream, everyone has a goal, everyone has something they want to accomplish in life. So you have to be truthful with yourself, though, but then you have to be truthful. So that's how that the name came in about. Make your dream your reality. Work towards that. Do what you need to do to accomplish whatever you're trying to accomplish in life.
Yep.
So that is where the Truthful Dream came from. That is where I got the name from.
Wow.
If you believe, you can achieve that.
Yeah, I mean that's a really dope name, Truthful Dream.
Yeah.
And when someone hears it, it's like, oh yeah, my dream, I can achieve my dream.
Yeah.
It's truthful.
So it's just wearing that on some clothes.
Yeah,
That's all that is.
I mean that's really good, you know, and it's a good thing that you have a business, and now you just got to think about how can I take this business to the next level, and what are some of the prospective partners I got to bring together, and because it's all about partnership. And you know, sometimes we get a little selfish when we start making some profit margin, 10%, 15%, 20%. We just like, oh no, I'm good now. I just want to just improve my this thing, make sure more money is coming to my pocket, and I don't want to think about how can I improve some other person's life or something like that. In order for you to build a solid brand, you know, you have to bring some prospective partners. Like, hey, this is my vision. You have to sell the dream, sell the vision. It's a truthful dream. Now, that truthful dream, you got to sell the truthful dream. Right. How you sell to this guy, sell it to the guy, like, hey, oh yeah, I believe in this guy. I believe in his aspiration. I believe in this product, and it got good quality. it's a good quality product, and I also believe in the guy. He got a really good, interesting story, and I know that now he wants to do something, not just for himself but for the community as a whole. Like, how can I stand behind this product, and what are some of the valuable insight that I'm going to bring into this product to make sure the product is not just in the state or in just in America, but it's in Paris, France, it's in Germany or other parts of the world. So it's all about this. Sometimes partnership is the key to life.
Yeah, it is.
And the people you hang around with is going to always determine who you become in the long run. So I'm glad, man. So now, what are some of the challenges? Because every entrepreneur have some great challenges to go through. I believe that yours is not just smooth ride.
It's definitely not.
Yeah, tell us, bro.
One, just so y'all know, I'm always looking to network. So y'all know.
Yeah.
I'm always looking to network. The challenges, though, even still, the material, that is a hard thing right now for me. It's finding good material, solid material. Thankfully, I found a vendor who does great work with my sweatsuits. They actually did a great job with my shorts that I have out now too. But it didn't start that way, and currently, like, I'm in a little bind right now with my T-shirts. The T-shirts that I'm getting made, the quality of the shirts are trash.
Yeah.
Truthfully, and I cannot find just a good quality T-shirt anywhere. And mind you, I'm still new to this, so I don't have the marketing like people do. I don't have the financial backing that other people may do. So I stay in my lane, but I refuse to put out bull crap. I'm not selling anyone no bull crap that I would not wear myself. So that is the challenge, is finding good quality material right now. And then, like I said, I don't have the marketing expertise. I'm not a computer whiz or all that type of stuff to where, hey, I can make a video on Instagram or something like that, and I'm getting 10,000 views. Nah, I don't know how to do all that. So I'm trying to learn as I go.
Are you on Instagram though?
Huh?
Are you on Instagram?
I am on Instagram. Truthful Dream is on Instagram.
Okay.
But yeah, so I'm not tech savvy, but I know the basics of it.
Yeah.
That's all. So I'm just trying to build, listen to people who's helping me along the way.
Yeah.
So that, those are my little challenges right now.
Wow. I mean, it's great to be open and say, oh yeah, sometimes your products, you receive some products that are not great and you don't want to sell it because if I can't put the thing on by myself, if I can't put it on, why should I sell it to another person?
Absolutely.
That's really good. The integrity shows, you're being honest. Some people don't have that stuff. They're just like, nah, I just gotta sell it, and they don't really care. It's just like, well, yeah, it's good. You'll be like, yeah, someone telling you, this got great quality, got great that, but you realize, no, man, it's not. I'm just buying this to support you because you're my brother or you're my friend. I just don't want to hurt your feelings. It doesn't mean it's good quality. Yeah,
I can respect somebody tell me, nah, your shirt is bullshit, and I don't even want it. But I can respect that honesty and direct, and be blunt and direct with me. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, man. I'm so glad you came to the show today. It's been a great one. I don't even know. That time is... Bro, it's 7 o'clock. Woo! So I got 2 questions for you today, bro. We'll end the show. So if there was one thing that you could take away from all those your experiences, what would that be?
Just in general in life?
Yeah.
Do what makes you happy. Do what makes you happy.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a really good one. And the last one, if you were to give your 18-year-old self an advice, what would it be?
Take life more serious.
Ooh.
Take life way more serious.
Oh, wow.
Because it ain't all fun and games out here.
Oh, I like that, man.
So,
is there anything you want to say to my audience before end the episode?
Nah, make sure y'all tap in with Mr. Benrolins, man. He got the coolest podcast for real, man. Just subscribe to him, man. That's all.
Yeah, man. Thank you very much. And please make sure you check out Truthful Dream. He got some good product, and just support him, bro. Let's just support one another. I really appreciate you guys for tuning into today's episode. It was a great one. And please, if you're watching on YouTube, just do us a favor by liking the video. And if you're new to our channel, subscribe. And that's going to encourage us more to produce great quality content every single week. Remember, every Wednesday, we'll drop an episode. See you in the next episode. Bye-bye. Benrolins Blueprint comes to an end. Thank you.